Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel, The Mauro. Today's video, I'm gonna show you how to make the best pizza dough for your restaurant or even for your home as well with Biga. Yes, with Biga. And the percentage is not gonna be as high as we did at the first video. Yes, we're gonna lower the pre-dough content. It's a very easily prepared dough, what you can accommodate into your business very easily, and then you can multiply the quantities by 6 or by 10, or just simply double the recipe all the way up to the desired quantity what you want. But enough of the talk, let me go through on the recipe with you very fast. So as you look at it here, you know, we have a pre-dough, the Biga, which we're gonna prepare in advance. The ingredients are gonna be flour, water, and of course yeast. And this time we're gonna use dry yeast. And why did I choose dry yeast? Because it is always more stable, you know, 100 times, you know, it's always gonna be the same, you know, so we're using dry yeast, you know, always use something which is Italian, you know, either from Cinque Stagioni or from Caputo, you know, which is made from beer, you know. And then for the refreshment, we're gonna add some more flour, some more water, some more yeast, and some more salt. And you see here with the red letters, you know, I indicated the content of the water, so it's going to be 70% of hydration, you know, which is the desired for the recipe. And if you look here with the AQT, which is Aqua Total, and then, you know, it comes together from two different parts. One will be the water content, which is inside the Biga, which is already 500 grams there. And then will be the other one, which is the AQR, which is indicating for the refreshment. So total, the whole recipe will contain 70%. And to understand what it means, you know, the first part of the flour, which is inside the Biga, the second part is inside the refreshment, and we're always indicating the water content towards the whole sum of the flour which is inside the recipe. So 1000 gram there, 1000 gram there, you know, adding together makes 2000. And if we're indicating 70%, that means it's 1400 grams of the water, which will be, so 500 is already here. So of course we will need to be adding an additional 900 grams of water there. And then that 900 gram at the refreshment, I'm gonna divide it into two, which you will be able to see. The first 600 will go straight into the base, and then I'm gonna start mixing together, and then the other 300 I will be adding gradually. Also, if you follow the videos previously, you know that the temperature of the water has to be cold, between 0 to 4 degrees Celsius. That's gonna be it. So this is for the small hits and bobs at the beginning, and then enough of the talk, let's make pizza dough. So come on. The first thing that comes to your mind and comes to your eye, that I'm using a machine at the moment. Yes, I do use the Spiro mixer to make the pre-dough, the Biga. So I'm not gonna make it by hand, I'm gonna use the Spiro mixer. You know, I'm just only using the mixer as long as all the water and the flour actually combine together. I don't want to have real strong gluten structure to happen. I don't want gluten structure to happen actually at all. So I'm just having the dough to form a little shape together, and I'm gonna be removing it straight away, and then I'm gonna pack it away as well. So don't need to think too much about it. Basically all the ingredients which are indicated in the recipe, we just put everything together and then start the machine on a low speed. Yes, low speed, maybe number 2. Dry yeast, and then all the water as well at the same time. There's not much that we need to worry about it at this time. The only thing we do is just let the machine do the job for us. Keep an eye on it in case if some flour builds up on the side of the container, just use a little spatula, scrape it off. But you know, if everything is done well and you have a good machine, you know, there should not be any issues or any problems like that. The important part with this, what you want, that all the little flour bits, all the little flour parts, you know, they actually combine together. So you don't want to see any dry bits left out, you know, you just want to see one piece of dough actually happening inside the bowl. As soon as we are ready, we're basically just transferring it into a bowl. There. Then just keep pressing down a little bit. Usually what I do, I make my hand a little bit damp, and with a damp and a little wet palm, I'm just pressing it down. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do now. Put a little bit of water in there on top of my palm, and I'm just pressing it down a little bit. Then plastic wrap. Okay, so it's wrapped now, it's airtight. The most important part is happening now. Leave it outside the room temperature for 1 hour. So let the yeast to activate and start, you know, the fermentation process. After 1 hour, refrigerate it. So it's 16 to 48 hours into the fridge. I suggest for this time we will keep it for about 40 hours inside our fridge, and then we will be using it after 40 hours. So 1 hour outside in room temperature and then 40 inside the fridge. Once it's done, we will be back and then we will be making the pizza with that. So I'll see you just now. As soon as we are ready with the Biga, it's got a beautiful, fruity, tiny acidic, smell. You know exactly that you've done a very good job. Don't need to think too much. First, add the water inside. As I said, the extra 600 gram, we put inside the base. So you don't need to think too much about it. You don't need to cut the Biga up into small pieces by knife. You can just pinch them easily by hand, and then just put it inside the water first. This stage, what I usually do, I just turn the mixer on low speed, give it a couple of spins, so the Biga starts dissolving into the water first, and then adding the flour for the refreshment, the additional yeast, and the rest of the stuff as well at the same time. Okay, so after about 2 minutes, we can add the flour, the rest of the dry yeast, and then we can start on the low speed again, and then eventually we will be raising the speed as soon as the pumpkin shape starts forming, and we can keep on adding the rest of the water as well. One thing, peace of mind, salt, never at the beginning, always at the last stage. If you've been following my videos, then you know very well that we always do this at the last time. And guys, of course, if you've been watching our videos previously, don't forget to hit the like button. We're always open for your comments, we're always open for your feedback. So thank you very much and keep on following. Carry on, let's make this pizza. Usually it takes about 5 to 7 minutes at the beginning until the pumpkin starts shaping well, and then an additional 4 to 7 minutes until we can add the rest of the water inside, so we can adjust the aqua content or the hydration content to the desired level what we want. Do not necessarily want to have it for longer than 16 minutes, 15 minutes inside the machine, inside the mixer bowl. And of course, keep checking the temperature, since the ideal temperature will be under 20. Yet, if we go over 22, 23, it's already too hot. So that's not what we want, So keep focusing on. That's why it is very important. Cold water, if it's necessary, add ice into it as well. Since a contemporary dough, it's always very, very delicate. You see that it starts forming the shape of a pumpkin already. So we know that we are on a good way for our end result. Now, as it started shaping a ball perfectly, we can raise the speed a little bit, and then we gradually start adding the rest of the water into it as well. Do not add all the water at the same time, because you would be breaking the dough. Just gradually let the machine do the job for you. You see how the dough absorbs the water into it, and that's why it has to be always very, very fragile and keep on doing it gradually, always gradually. Raising the speed a little bit. Once we have added almost 90% of the water, this is the time when we add the salt. It's also a dry ingredient, so we'll also change the dry content part on the dough. Yet, this is the time when we can still adjust with the water after as well. You see that I'm not adding any additional water at the moment. I want the dough to actually absorb and to work the salt itself into it. So we're giving a little bit of time, so strengthening the dough a little bit at the moment. See, a beautiful pumpkin shape is there. And as soon as the salt had worked itself in, we can keep on adding the water. Once all the water is in, shaping the ball back together again, let it run for another 40 seconds to 1 minute until just strengthening the dough again, and then stop the machine and we carry on from there. And that's it. So now leave it to rest for about 60 seconds. Yes, 60 seconds, not 60 minutes, not 15 minutes, not 20 minutes, about 60 seconds. After that, we can remove it from the mixing bowl, we can portion it, and then we can put it straight away into the refrigerator. In case if you want to use it, we can leave it out on the room temperature for about 4 hours, 2 to 4 hours, and then you'll be able to use it. However, ideally, since it's a contemporary dough, I will put it into the fridge, especially at this time, because I designed it for my kitchen, for my restaurant, and then I would be using it in between 4 to 8 hours time. So a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on my palm, and then remove the dough straight away. You can see how strong it is. It's beautiful. Yet the one thing which is very important, that we did not go crazy on the water content. since we set it to 70%, it is perfect for contemporary dough. We didn't go to 75, 78, 80, you know. This is something which is very easy to handle. Still, it will be giving us a gorgeous and fantastic end result, a gorgeous product. So a little bit more olive oil here. A little bit of oil on top, just brush it, and then we can portion it straight away. Size will be exactly the same as we did before, 275 to 280ish to 300ish, I would say. Yet my target at this time would be around 280, and I've tried to make sure that all of them are at 280. That's why I'm using a scale which shows me the grams perfectly. If you've done your job well and you did the math well, then exactly 12 balls should be able to sit in front of you. Since we spoke about it already, 1 kilo flour will give us always 6 pizza balls at a contemporary size. So how many we have? 3, 6, 9, 12. Ah, we're good. So let's make these balls very fast. Good. So now the only thing we need to do is put another container on top, straight into the refrigerator. And as I said, between 4 to 8 hours, it's going to be ready to rumble. Or in case if you need to use it as soon as possible, then leave it out on room temperature. And then in about 2 to 4 hours time, you'll be able to bake some fantastic pizzas. Let's put this in the fridge, and then let's come back a little bit later. Until then, we have some lunch and we have a cup of brew. So I'll see you just now. So let's have a look at these bad boys. You know, what have they done during the chilling process? Ooh, they look rather sexy. Very nice. Strong. Let's see, let's bake some pizzas, you know, because I'm already excited. Get some flour up here. You see that it's not so soft like it was before, you know. It's a little bit more easy to handle since, you know, the water content, we didn't go over 70%. So the purpose behind it, it's much more easy to handle, you know, easier to train your guys as well to work with a contemporary dough at the beginning if it's something new for them. Also for you at home, if you're practicing, you know, a lower water content always gonna make the dough a little bit less more friendly. Alright, so we are just 60 seconds already in the oven. A little bit of twist on the pizza. And we are almost there. About another 10 seconds to go, so we can already count down. But 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And boom! Beautiful! Ooh, look at it, 6 pieces. Gorgeous. Is it soft and crunchy? Let's find it out. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, 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 oh. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Number one and very, very important thing, if you look at it, it looks beautiful. You know, we didn't go crazy on the cornichon, so we didn't go crazy on the rim. We didn't want it to that bam, like enormous effect. on it. So with still, you know, it's beautiful, fluffy, airy, soft and crunchy, just exactly as a contemporary pizza should be. Yet, you know, it is ideal because if you would use it in your business, people don't go crazy that they have to buy the actual side of only the pizza, yet it's still fluffy. You can still see all the effects and all the actual signs what a contemporary pizza should look like. Nice, fluffy, airy. With the water content, it's over 70%, so it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, guys. Smell fantastic. So there's nothing else to do, just finish it up with some more fresh basil, a little bit of olive oil, and of course something which is not Italian, but I always say it's British. It's mild on sea salt, and then it's only one thing left to do. I must taste it. Yep. All right, so let's do the last and final touches. Look at that. Wow. Beautiful, airy. Look at that structure. It is sexy. Oh. It's amazing. Beautiful baked, fantastic, nice, airy, fluffy. Oh, just exactly what it should be. Guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'm always open for your comments. You know, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm here to help. And the number one thing, which I always say, there is no secret in my recipes. So don't forget, if you follow step by step exactly what I do, the product will be fantastic and will be phenomenal. So it's ideally very good for your restaurant, very good for your kitchen at home. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thank you for now. Ciao.